Joining me now is Liberal Senator Alex Antic. Alex, we've got a new city being built in Sydney, which should be open by 2026. The planning documents show it's going to be a 30-minute city with sustainable and green car-free streets. It wasn't that long ago that people who talked about this concept were called conspiracy theorists. But what do you think about this? Surely there are no dangers here. There's just convenience and sustainability. What could go wrong?
No, and you forgot security, Rita, as well. That's always the other one that's used when people are up to something. Yeah, this used to be the 15-minute city issue, which people were called when they talked about it with some concern were called far right or conspiracy theorists. Now it's a 30-minute city, so there must be twice as many conspiracy theorists and twice as many far righters. But look, reality is this is steeped in all the language of a socialist climate agenda. I can remember this from my time on the Adelaide City Council, which, by the way, is the treatment has almost been finalised for that stint of 4 years. I'm feeling much better. But this would happen every single time in the early days of smart cities agendas and shared access zones and any opportunity to take a car off the street with an EV powered station or a little parklet or a garden bed. These councils are controlled by socialists. And the reality here is that this 15-minute city agenda is nothing more than that. This is a climate agenda wrapped in a convenient bubble. And by the way, these are cities which allow us to be turnkey communities, really. So think about it in terms of control. If all of a sudden, you can't go further or you don't need to go further than 15 minutes in either direction in order to do what you need to do, then it's very easy in some cities to simply make it very hard for anyone to leave when the time comes. And we see that coming out of places like Oxfordshire in the UK, where there are tolls put into place if you go further than your allocated zone. So all of these things were considered to be conspiracy theories. The reality is that, like so many things we've heard about in the last 2 or 3 years, they're coming true. So who are the conspiracy theorists?
Well, yeah, it all sounds wonderful until you just tweak it slightly, and then something that's wonderful becomes very sinister indeed. And there is a lot of socialist language at play here. Now, today's political news, I've got to say, has been dominated by the behaviour of politicians, their alcohol intake. This all comes after the Barnaby Joyce saga, that vision of him in Canberra, and then Nationals Deputy Leader Perrin Davey also appearing to be a little tired and emotional during a Senate hearing. I know Zali Steggall is very perturbed by this. She's been all over Sky News talking about it. Do we need to change the culture of Canberra? Do we need breathalyzers, drinking bans? Alex, does Parliament have a drinking problem?
Yeah, look, I don't think it does, Rita. I don't see any signs of that. I mean, occasionally people are trapped in the building for long periods of time and they will socialise. But on the whole, I don't really see any great need for this. I mean, at the end of the day, it's obviously not a good look having, people in the condition that Barnaby was. But he's quite right. I mean, it wouldn't be nice if someone had come to his assistance rather than take the opportunity. As for Parliament House, look, the reality is, they're long hours in that building. People are stuck in that building for long periods of time, sometimes until early hours of the morning. And I think people do occasionally drop around to an office for a drink. I would hate to see that stamped out because there is a significant need for a collegiate approach to politics. I think we're actually missing a lot of that. I mean, there's part of me that thinks, frankly, and pull me up on it if you like, that the days of having a parliamentary bar, where people could go and mingle between parliamentary parties is a sad opportunity lost. So, look, we don't want to see more regulation placed in there. I don't see a problem. Maybe I'm just not getting invited to the parties. That's a very strong possibility, actually, I might say.
Yeah, you're too well behaved, Senator Antic. You're not going to get into the headlines with that sort of behaviour.